things that I'd say is that it really pays to stay updated with information and reading and learning, continuing to learn because, for me, I was really invested in the NRL probably 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. You watch a lot of the games and pay a lot of attention, but since it got busier, I've kind of just dropped off really. And so we had a bit of a super coach or a draft. We did this the start of this year with a couple of my friends, and here I was thinking I got all these good buys: Teddy Tedesco, Jerome Luai, Brian Tohu. It's been pretty good this year, but yeah, I just got all these players which I presume were in form, but really, I haven't stayed up to date with the information. So if you wanted to start drawing parallels between football and sport and the economy and finance as well, it pays to keep educating yourself, keep reading, keep learning, and keep developing your savings habits too. So
Yeah, I 100% agree.
in terms of the next couple of questions, we just got a few that are related to more specifics. You probably can't provide too much information here, but I'll just go through those anyway. But we've got a question. Someone wants a silver bullet here: VDHG or VHY, which is best? Well, they're completely different in what they offer, aren't they? But in my personal opinion, you'd probably say that VHY is more towards dividends, but if you're early in life, you don't really want to be paying all the tax on the dividends. It'd probably be, again, like a false economy. You'd prefer to put your money into DHG. What are your thoughts, guys?
So and forgive me, I don't know every single code on the ASX, but from memory, VHY is the high yield.
Vanguard, yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
Vanguard high
Vanguard,
yield
high
ETF.
yield, and then VDHG's Vanguard diversified high growth.
Sure. So maybe it's better to answer that in explaining along the lines of where you were going in terms of the features of what you should expect to get from that sort of investment.
Yeah.
So Vanguard high yield, and correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is it's a portfolio of high income earning shares. So by default, those sorts of investments are slightly, but less volatile than the market itself, and more of your returns going to come from income than from capital growth. You're still going to get some capital growth, but not as much as the market itself. So to your point, typically that's more not necessarily age based. Let's go back to the goal. If your goal is to live off the investment, maybe maybe an income strategy might be suitable. But so it's thinking about it's thinking about the purpose of what you're investing. Think about the purpose of why you're investing as to what the right investments are for that strategy. And then remind me again, sorry, Hayden, the other ETF that was mentioned.
Yeah, so the VHY, which was the high yield, which is for
Yep.
dividends predominantly,
Yep.
VDHG, which is Vanguard Diversified High Growth. So I think
Yep.
they're investing a lot more those low mid cap stocks, which have potential
Sure.
for high growth in the coming years, and it's a lot cheaper and more affordable for young people
Sure.
to invest in.
So I'll challenge you on the more cheaper or affordable, unless I've missed the context of that point, is that let's say you got $10,000 and the unit price of one of those investments is
Yeah.
$100 and the unit price of the other one's $1. All that really means is how many pieces of the pie that you get. It's still the same $10,000 going into either
What I
one.
what I meant by cheap, I think, was just the fees. So
Gotcha. Okay,
percentages.
sure.
That's
Yep, and that's a very valid point to focus on, is that fees are a friction cost, and it does influence the return you can achieve. Obviously, it's what's on the tin. It's a high growth investment strategy. It's identifying companies that have a tendency over the long term to perform better than the index. However, it comes with greater volatility typically as well. So you've got to be able to stomach um, investing in the share market in general is volatile. We're talking about the nuances of different investments relative to the index itself. So it might not be and this is often the case. Our viewpoint on this isn't necessarily the answer someone's specifically looking for, but we feel like the right context is what's what's the purpose for your investing in the first place? That determines what the right investment or investments are. And so, that's a more long-term, growth-focused strategy than what VHY is going to give you, which is more immediate sort of income generating. In speaking very high level and generic, as to sort of what the different features are of those two ETFs.